You know, somebody asked me, I think it was Pete, actually, Dominic. I was on his program yesterday. And we started talking about like the stuff that we do around here. And I was like, you know, we still play some Dave Rubin clips. But it used to be the agenda was, and I was very explicit about this 5 or 6 years ago, he was coming out with a book. And I wanted to make sure that anytime a reviewer was going to write about Dave Rubin as part of his publicity thing, that they would, because we were after him so much, whether they searched them in Twitter or whether they searched them in YouTube or whatever it was, that we would be there to be a pushback on the claim that Dave Rubin was a liberal,
representative of
the last
left.
liberal,
Yes.
or whatever it was. Like he was a post-left liberal or whatever it was. He was calling himself a classical liberal. And then it inhibited, I think his book didn't come out till later. I don't think it inhibited when his timing was a book, but he was never able to sort of like get out there. His classical liberal things started to fall apart. And the trajectory was quite obvious. And he ended up working for Glenn Beck. And now he's just on the right. And I said to Pete, I was like, the reason why we play him now is just because he's so stupid. It's funny.
It is funny. And
so with that said, here is Glenn Beck's Dave Rubin on C-SPAN talking about his book. This is from July of this past year. Nobody noticed him on C-SPAN because, of course, it's not Glenn Beck's network, but we found it, and here it is.
This need to label everybody the worst things just because they have different opinions, the way we do this. This person's a Nazi and Donald Trump was Hitler. Not only is this a denigration of the past, it's an abusive language. And this is, by the way, these tactics are done by the same people who say that everything's cultural appropriation. I mean, that's a type of cultural appropriation if you're unjustly calling a bunch of decent people Nazis and bigots and everything else.
Appropriating Nazi culture is really fun.
But like, is it Jewish culture to call people Nazis? Is that what he means?
That's the other flip side of it. But
I just like, it's just the level of just idiocy. I mean, I wish there was a way that we could do a formula where we could divide, where we could take his level of idiocy and take the cost of his house, or maybe the square footage, and divide it by the amount of idiocy he has.
Yeah, how
that
would we quantify his idiocy?
I mean, but it's not just the idiocy, because there's a lot of stupid people out there.
Yeah, it seems unquantifiable, but like you maybe could do it.
But it's not just that he's an idiot, because like I say, there's a lot of stupid people out there. But it is the audacity to do what he does and be that stupid.
Mm-hmm. The shamelessness.
And the idea that he's been able to do it so successfully while being so stupid is really impressive. I mean, that is what the only price that he pays for his idiocy is, the fact that he has had to constantly be moving across some political, the spectrum of ideology, because if he stays in one place, people catch on. Mm-hmm. So he's almost like a snake oil salesman going from town to town, so that he's not around long enough for people to find out, like, hey, wait a second, this doesn't grow back my hair and feed my tomato plants and clean off the rust from my farm equipment. Where is that guy?
He's the Leo DiCaprio character in Catch Me If You Can, except if he was not talented or good at anything.
Right, exactly. But he's landed at Glenn Beck's place, and he will be fine until the audience figures out that, wait a second, he's married to a guy. That's not going to work.
Yeah. That's.
I really do think that Dave may, like the clock may be ticking.
Ex-gay?
No. Well, I guess that's the other option.
Well, I mean,
that's the final frontier.
Yes. That's the final boss of Dave Rubin's new identity.
The beauty is that you can go ex-gay and then become ex-gay. Mm-hmm. That happens a lot.
AKA just like take a break from your husband for 2 months and then cash in a little bit, then come back.
I'm rehabilitated and I like women now.
Exactly. Oh, actually, no, I realized I'm not rehabilitated, and I like guys again.
Ah.
So.
Is Milo Yiannopoulos back on that train?
Well, it's just a matter of time.